Jazz hands.
Jazz hands. Well, you always close on jazz hands.
Right.
What do you do for openings?
More jazz hands.
More jazz hands?
You can never go wrong with jazz hands.
Touche. Yeah. All right, so jazz hands.
Wow, it seems like forever since I've been on here.
It has been a while.
Well, I thought you replaced me.
No. Just expanding. Just as I've expanded the studio. So we're actually back a little bit to just
2 inches to the left.
2 inches to the left, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot happening off camera that you're not seeing, but there's a lot happening.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, welcome to the show.
Hi! Actually, I think I need to bring... Do I sound okay?
You sound fine to me.
Okay. Maybe it's my headphones then. That was really weird last night when I was setting this all up. Just hearing radio broadcasts.
He has his headphones pick up radio broadcasts. We have a radio station right around the corner from us.
It is literally like 2 blocks over. 2 rows of
houses. Which is unfortunate because they're very loud.
Yeah.
But
we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do
something we haven't done yet.
Something we hadn't done yet, but this is a little different, a little new. We're going to see how we like the format. But I have to do one thing in homage to part of the inspiration for this episode. So I have to kind of fluff my hair out a little bit to try and match the wild locks of Brandon Herrera. Anime meme review.
Does he always say that and then gun meme review? Or
yeah.
Okay.
So what is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers? There we go. That was my Brandon Herrera impersonation. I'll try and end there. But I like his gun meme review, and he always brings a lot of funny memes to the table, and the people who follow him on social media bring a lot of interesting content to the table. Most notably the Marty Robbins memes, because Marty Robbins.
I don't know who that is.
He wrote, gunslinger ballads and trail songs. Was big in the 50s and kind of in the 60s. A lot of good American folk songs. Probably the song he's most known for was Big Iron, which was the title song of the album Big Iron. And people love using the cover of that as a meme template.
Okay.
And so that comes up at least once every gun meme review. And it's great.
But we're not going with gun meme reviews. We decided to do anime reviews. So we got our little anime figures. It's Gohan and Kenshin and Feifei.
Yes. And I am wearing my Kenshin shirt.
I have my Goku jacket. Can't get it on camera. There you go.
It's there. It's there.
Even though I prefer Vegeta. I'm not going to turn down a Goku jacket. But
I will die on the hill that Vegeta is a better person and actually has defeated Kakarot at least once.
See, I used to get into arguments with this guy that was in a lot of my classes my senior year of high school, because of course he said, Goku's the best. And I was like, the only reason Goku is stronger is because he's gotten his ass kicked more times. Because every time a Saiyan comes back from the brink of death, they come back stronger. So that's the only thing Goku had going for him through, the Cell Saga. Definitely through the Namek Saga.
Yeah. Got pummeled every time. I mean, put him in the pod. Yeah, there's a very blurred line between these, especially Dragon Ball Z and Hellsing, the real thing, the real lines from the real release, and then the abridged lines from Team 4-Star. So we might go back and forth between those. We've watched both of those so many times that they can get a little conflated, when you're trying to remember it. It's like, wait, did that actually happen, or was that in the abridged? Give me a minute.
Let me find the clip. Let me find the scene on YouTube.
But we went through the interweb and found
just a random assortment
of memes from basically mostly the enemies that we watch.
Yeah.
Because there's so many out there.
Yeah. I haven't set up like any sort of inbox for anybody. So if you have great memes saved to your phones, good for you. I have no way of you getting... Well, I mean, you can...
You leave them in the comments.
I mean, unless you want to find me on X and DM them to me somehow, I guess that would work. And that's if we do another one of these, which we might. I don't know. I like the idea. I'm not going to do the Brandon Herrera thing every time, though.
Good.
I just wanted to get that acknowledgement off the top, though. Because when I came up with this idea, it's like, you know what? This sounds like a lot of fun. I was watching a gun meme review.
Oh, I see.
That's why I had to do that at the start. It's like, it's what inspired this. So I guess I'll get started with this one. And,
well, post.
Yeah. You're going to have to send them all to me, and then I'll put them up and everything. So we're just going to show them to each other, and then I'll put it in there.
Okay.
That was a great dance, dear. some high quality para dancing.
Okay.
We're gonna start with Yamcha.
Oh, Yamcha always gets
versus
Yamcha.
Magikarp. Yamcha faded.
Magikarp used Splash. Yamcha fainted. See, I don't know anything about Pokemon.
Okay, Magikarp is like the most basic Pokemon you can get. It's an entry level character. And Splash is like the most basic attack it has. It does like 10 hit points of damage, which is nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
That's the bare minimum amount of damage.
See, there are so many memes out there of Yamcha getting Yamcha'd, and it's really sad because I think Yamcha beat somebody once, or maybe beat Goku once back in Dragon Ball when Goku was still a kid. Like, that was the only time he was actually strong enough to be considered a threat, and it ended very quickly.
Yeah, the Wolfang Fist, his strongest attack, became irrelevant pretty much by the end of Dragon Ball.
Oh, even before then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time Goku got the Kamehameha wave and put out the fires at Ox King's castle, that was the beginning of the end for Yamcha. I mean, he does make some... appearances later on that for one thing, they never explained where he got that nasty scar.
I know, they kind of just left that out.
It's like the towards the final episodes, Goku, Tien, Yamcha just kind of go their separate ways and realize they need to go to their separate ways to learn more martial arts. Sticking together is going to slow them down. So they break up and then come back together like 10 years later. They're all in their mid-teens or something, and yeah, Yamcha's just got that scar on him now. Like,
you assume he got it while fighting, but yeah, that means he lost that fight. He got a pretty nasty scar.
I mean, that's one way of ensuring. It's like either that or, man, what did he do to the other guy?
Yeah. But what's so funny about Yamcha, he's just always gets owned. And even in the Dragon Ball Z Super, like what he is known for, what he's good at, he's been a professional baseball player forever. And they play a game of baseball and basically destroy him. He did make the winning run, but he did it crawling on his hands and knees while everyone else was fighting.
Survived.
And barely survived.
He got on base because he got... who's pitching?
Vegeta. Is Vegeta, and Vegeta took great pleasure in hitting him with that ball.
That's right. What kind of sport doesn't allow physical contact?
It's like, you can't hit anybody. So even then, he's in what he became good at. He was just totally knocked down by everyone else.
But at least he didn't die that time.
Yeah, at least he didn't die.
Which, I mean, okay, Yamcha actually does have a lower death count than Goku, but that's because he pretty much stopped fighting after the Saiyan saga.
Yeah, huh?
Because when he died there, he went to
King Kai's,
where he actually does get to shine just a little bit, because you got Piccolo, Tien, and him were on King Kai's planet because they all died, and they were training there. Somehow the Ginyus get sent there.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, and they take down the Ginyus.
Yeah, the three of them just like handily just.
Well, that brings us to the first meme I chose. It's got Krillin, Tien, Chaozu, and Yamcha, and it says Suicide Squad.
Oh man! Wait a minute, Krillin never committed suicide.
By going into battle that he was not strong enough to win, he committed suicide.
Yeah, true. That is part of his charm. I mean,
all of them, that's how they died. They went into a battle that they were too weak for and became fodder.
Yeah. Well, there's a difference between... Wait, when did Por do that?
That's not Por, that's Chaozu.
Oh, Chaozu. Yeah, Chaozu definitely blew himself up.
Yeah.
Yamcha...
He kamikazed, yeah.
Yeah. And...
Yamcha's just Yamcha.
Yamcha got Yamcha'd. Tien... Let's see, how many times has he died? Okay, he died fighting Nappa.
Mm-hmm.
And he almost died fighting Cell. Kiko.
Kiko.
So Kiko, one more time.
I'm going to be so nettled.
He almost died there, but Goku saved him by remembering, oh yeah, I can do that thing.
The sound effects they put into it, that's so funny.
Yeah, it's just a nice little... Goku pops in and
whenever
out of
he does instant transmission. Oh, funny stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, Krillin actually at one point gives up martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after
yeah, but that was because, like, it came out later towards the later episodes of Super. He did it because he was scared.
Yeah, well, I mean, he got killed when he was like 8.
Yeah, but it was the fight with like Majin Buu or something that like really wigged him out.
Yeah. The what was that? Oh god, it was the name of the forest. Some forest where they had to go and face their fears, and they couldn't fly or anything. And Goku's just having a really great time fighting all these old enemies again because he's Goku, and there is something wrong with him. Yeah,
nothing matters except for a good fight. And that
not
becomes
his kids, not his wife.
Yeah, I was gonna say
anything.
That becomes incredibly relevant at the last episode of Dragon Ball Z when they go back to the World Martial Arts Tournament. He meets the reincarnation of Majin Buu, and he just up and leaves. Like, bye, Chi-Chi, I'm leaving. And she's like, what? No, because she like he takes him to go train him.
Oh yeah, Oob.
Yeah, Oob. He takes Oob to go train him so he can have a good fight with him. He's like, okay, Chi-Chi, bye. And she's like, what? No.
Just up and leaves.
Yeah.
Like, no sense of responsibility.
At all.
At all. And that's why Vegeta's better.
Mm-hmm. At least he's a father.
Tries to be.
Mm-hmm. Not the best, but he's there.
Yeah. I mean, he made that deal with Trunks that...
yeah, and he made good on it. He took him to
the... rhyme chamber.
Oh, I thought you meant the one where he decks him in the gravity chamber when he was a kid.
Was it
it was the gravity chamber. They were training for the World Martial Arts Tournament where Babidi shows up. And he tells Trunks that if you can land a hit on me, then I'll take you to that amusement park. And he did. He turned Super Saiyan. Vegeta didn't know he could go Super Saiyan.
Okay, yeah, that was the one I was thinking of. I thought it was in the time chamber. Okay.
No, it was in the gravity chamber.
Okay. Right concept. I had the scene wrong. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, he did keep, and he stuck around as best he could. It wasn't until the end of the day at the concert that Vegeta had finally had enough.
And like Trunks is like, well, there goes Dad, and Bulma's like, honestly, I'm surprised he lasted this long. You found my chain pull.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
It was.
I didn't know he still had that. Sorry, I just looked up.
Yeah, I forget when you got that, but yeah, it was floating around attached to something. I was like, oh, I'm putting that in there.
Okay. Cool.
Now it's part of the studio. It's being used.
Sweet. Anyway.
I think I'm going to relocate Daisy and Peach.
Well, I wanted to take those down and put them back in her room.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Then never mind then.
Why? Where are you going to put them?
I was going to put them next to Spock or somewhere up here, somewhere within shot, maybe.
If she asks about them, we'll put them back in her room. But
Okay. I still haven't figured out what to do with those doors.
sorry, we're looking around the studio.
Oh, hi! Hey, welcome back. Yeah.
Maybe edit that out.
Nah.
Okay. But anyway, well, moving on. I got one more. One more. I probably got a few more from Dragon. Yeah, I got like 4 more from Dragon Ball Z. But
That's okay. It doesn't have to be themed.
okay.
My next one's Avatar.
I got a number of avatars. Yeah, I actually had to stop myself from looking up avatar memes.
There are a lot of quality Avatar memes, and a lot of them are very thought-provoking.
See, I don't go for the thought-provoking ones. I go for the funny ones.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of hilarious ones too. The still shots of Zuko being hit by the boomerang.
Oh yeah, the never pause avatar, the last Airbender ones.
Yeah. Someone's like. See, I've got this one. That.
Okay, we got Toph.
Yeah. Part of the reason Toph is so proud of her sandbending in Book 3 is because she was ashamed of her lack of skill with sand resulted in Appa being stolen.
Yeah, and
that's like a really subtle subtext that I had never thought about until I saw this meme.
Well, I mean, you think about it. She grew up in a city.
Yeah.
How often do you encounter sand in a city?
In the Earth, yeah.
Yeah, and in the Earth Kingdom ring where she was fighting is rock.
There's lots of rock and maybe some soil, obviously. Mm-hmm. But she was familiar with soil. Soil is denser.
Mm-hmm.
When they're walking around anywhere that's not rock, it's going to be soil or a paving stone or something. But sand is a whole different thing.
I was watching the episode today.
And I never thought about it. It's like, yeah, they're walking around this beach and she's perfectly fine versus when she's walking in the desert and like they had
she's
to kind of
like everything's fuzzy. Yeah.
To keep her from wandering off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they all held hands as they went through the desert. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sokka found the cactus juice.
Cactus juice. It'll quench you.
It's the quenchiest. Nothing's quenchier. But yeah, so that means that, she saw it as a weakness and knew she needed to.
She was not going to let that stand.
Mm-hmm.
That was not okay.
Say, inventing metal bending, that was nothing. Well, it was something, but, it wasn't. Still got to master this.
Yeah.
Because she says right before she makes that city, she's like, I've been working on my sand bending, watch. And she
makes a whole city with a tiny Bosco and Earth King.
But I was watching the episode today, Nightmares and Daydreams. That's the one where Aang can't go to sleep because he's got nightmares right before the invasion. It's one of the funniest episodes there is. And they're all trying to make Aang relax because he's so stressed out. And Toph made him like this rock bed and she starts like running in place and it's like pounding him all around. Yeah. She's like, it's like, you're bruising me. He's like, oh, right. I forgot you got baby skin. And then she just goes, there's one thing left. She like stomps on the ground and like from far behind her in the middle of the forest, this porcupine just go pew right into her hand. And she's like, acupuncture. But yeah, that forest was like, probably a good half mile.
And landed right in her hand.
Yeah.
Right to her. Like, how do you have that kind of projectile accuracy? I mean, you talk about, the military couldn't do that.
With computers, yeah.
They struggle to do that with computers, yeah.
But, yeah, it's just like, there are times when you realize just how scary Toph is.
Melon Lord.
I am Melon Lord. Like when she was training Aang, she had those rocks covering her body. She left the eyes open just to make him scared because she couldn't see.
No,
those are just so she can make him scared. And it's like,
yeah,
so funny.
She's sadistic.
She is sadistic,
and that's why she's part of what makes her awesome.
Well, I got one from Avatar 2.
Okay,
it's one you've seen before. It's Sokka lovingly clenching his boomerang. You do come back
every time.
Still a better story than love story than Twilight.
Oh yeah.
See, I
That's a joke
thought
that never gets old.
It really doesn't. I thought a good way to completely end the Avatar Last Airbender series, like, everything's done. Zuko's, Fire Lord, and Aang and Katara kiss and all that stuff. Everything's wrapped up in a perfect little package. But you just needed like one scene, like after the credits or something, of Sokka like walking along the beach and he looks down and he sees his boomerangs, like, boomerang.
I think it'd be better if he tripped over it.
Yeah, or something like that. He just needed to find that boomerang again.
Boomerang always comes back. Every time.
Every time.
Boomerangs always come back.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
Moving on.
And so, like, the Avatar of The Last Airbender fandom is intense.
Oh, definitely.
And people with a lot of time on their hands sit there and analyze stuff like, the previous one there with Toph's sandbending. Mm-hmm. And then I saw this one. And this is the level of visual storytelling they do. And part of what makes that show so great.
Oh, yeah. I didn't notice it until I read that meme.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Go ahead.
And so isn't the way they've got his face covered, and then
Zuko's in the prison talking to Iroh, and they're talking about his great grandfathers, Sozin and Roku.
Yeah, that Roku was his mom's grandfather,
right?
So it's like both those lineages are in him.
Yeah,
and the way they did that, as Iroh's talking, the bar's passing in front of him, and it's like. It's so perfectly timed.
Yeah, while he's talking about Sozin, you can see like Zuko's scar with the bar down the center, and as he starts to talk about Roku, it like switches, like pans over to where you don't see the scar, you see his
the
face.
Other side, side that's still clean, and it's like, dang. And somebody nails it. It's like, whoops, great grandfather is exactly the kind of they censored it. Exactly the kind of stuff that elevates this show to where really no other show has ever come and probably never will. Bold claim, but yeah,
it tracks.
Yeah. I mean that's great visual storytelling, and the live action is just not as good.
Yeah, I watched the first episode. He's been watching the rest of it.
Episode 7 or 8.
I think there's only like 8 episodes or something like that right now.
Well, then probably 7. They're at the Northern Water Tribe.
But, yeah, the part of Avatar that I really like was the fact that they're all still kids. There's a certain level of levity and humor in the anime that they totally didn't even put in the... Like no levity allowed.
Yeah, not nearly as much fun. It's much darker, it's much heavier, which I get that. It's like if you watched the original coming out when you were a kid, that was 20 years ago. You're in your mid-20s, maybe 30 or more by now.
So they weren't watching it as newborns, so yeah, probably 30s.
Yeah, I mean, if you were 5 years old watching, 8 years old watching the original one, you're 33 now. Mm-hmm. If I'm doing that math correctly, I think it came out in 2005-ish.
It came out in 2005, yeah.
Yeah. So you're 33, 34, something like that. You can handle watching somebody being burnt to a crisp.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like made for adults that were kids watching the anime. But, the parts of the anime that had me watching were the silly parts. So.
Yeah. But I mean, I get the tone for it. And just judging it on its own merits, just to touch on it real quick, just kind of trying to take it on its own.
Mm-hmm. Not compare it to the other.
Right. Because they do try their best to not just scene for scene recreate it. They try to do something slightly different with it. And they change some of the characters around. They change some of the scenes around. They change some of the... how things played out a little bit, and they also condense it a lot. It's a lot faster.
Yeah.
So in one episode, you've got them getting to Omashu, going through the tunnels, meeting the scientist, meeting Jet, and meeting Boomy, which in the anime, that's like 7 different episodes.
That's half the season right there.
Yeah. And that all plays out in like two episodes. So it's a lot faster, which you get a lot more what they're doing and how, and what they're doing and why, but you don't get as much character development. It's harder to feel emotionally invested in these people.
Yeah, because that's what they did differently in the anime. They let you get used to the characters, and then as the story went along, their backstories started to unfold. Whereas in this one, they just got the backstory done first, and here are the characters.
Well, they do kind of flash back to the characters, and they do a fair amount of explaining a lot of things that in a way that doesn't really distract or detract without doing too many flashbacks, but it kind of stands. But given the choice, I'd rather watch the anime. It's hard, and
it's hard for me to sit down and watch something new because I have to take time out of my day and I have to pay attention.
Yeah.
I usually watch TV while I'm doing other things, so that's why I've only watched the first episode. So I find myself just going back to like my favorite episodes of the anime.
Well, it just doesn't. I know, despite the flashy graphics and the action pack, it's almost like trying to compare Star Wars and Star Trek. Star Trek, you get a lot more character development. You get a lot more personableness.
Well, that's because it's a series that goes on for a long time, whereas Star Wars is just
it's a movie.
A small number of movies, yeah.
Right. And I think that's the difference is this series is a lot faster. You're getting more actions and kabooms, but less character. So I think that's the trade-off they're making there.
But I think it's also the sign of the times that, that's what people nowadays want. They're not
kabooms.
Yeah, they want kabooms, they want fast pace, they want action. They have very, very small attention spans now. So
yeah.
They also got and TikTok.
Took TikTok, yeah.
But yeah, so it's different.
It's different. And I appreciate that it's different. That's part of what makes it stand.
I was talking to my brother and he said the same thing. He's like, I was hoping for not just a scene by scene recreation of the anime.
Yeah.
But there are certain things in the anime that I would have liked them to put in there. And at least keep some of the characters, like my favorite characters, true to their character. Like I was really looking forward to seeing Boomy.
Yeah, they changed Boomy in a way that
yeah.
He's not as likable.
He's not as silly.
No, he's more of a cranky old man and less of an eccentric old He's less eccentric and more
sleep.
And then they try to weave things in there, little Easter eggs like that, little callbacks and hearkening just to remind you that you're watching Avatar. But they don't always work.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, when you were watching it and you saw the cabbage vendor, you're like, kind of like, oh man, this sucks. They didn't do it justice. But then you realize they were building up to something.
Yes, that was clever. That was clever because you see him like at the gates of Omashu, and you see him, just kind of off in the distance. They're in the line to get into Omashu, and you just see a cabbage cart get launched off the edge, and you're waiting for it, and it doesn't come. What? That was the cabbage vendor's cart. Come on, we know this scene.
You gotta say the line.
They didn't say the line, and then you see him again, like in the streets, like when when Aang and the gang get into one of the little carts and they're zooming through town, they're just causing havoc, and they destroy his cart, and you're waiting for it, and it doesn't happen. Like that was his cart. And you just see you see him in the street. He's just like shell shocked, like my cart. It has the look of my cart was just destroyed, and you're waiting for the line, and it doesn't come. But then after him and Boomy reconcile, and they get into the cart, and they go through, and then there's the big calamity, and you finally get to hear him go, my cabbages. It's like, I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Piggybacking on the last meme I did, with the Sokka and his boomerang, still a better love story than Twilight. I saw another one that had the cabbage vendor like nuzzling his cabbages, and it's like still a better love story than Twilight.
Can you tell we don't care for Twilight?
Okay, but anyway, so
What you got?
I got this is actually a screenshot from a TikTok, but it like draft fell. But it made me go, huh. Yeah. So I paused it and took a screenshot, and it's got a picture of Aang in his little red skivvies, you know, every now and then he takes all his clothes off. And
anytime they can, they go swimming.
Yeah, and it shows the back of Aang, and it's got his tattoos, you know, going down the back of his head, down his back, and like wrapping around his legs, and says, someone asked, does Aang's tattoos go through the middle or split over each cheek?
I choose to believe they get to like well,
you
could see the small of his back.
Yeah, get to the small of his back. It looks like it could either like, you know, split into each cheek or just go down the middle and split after that.
And also
where they are on his legs.
And also, who applied the tattoo at that region?
He was not a happy man at the air temple.
Do all airbender masters have a similar tattoo in their Sun Don't Shine area? These are the underlying questions.
The other masters didn't have the tattoos. Like, think of Gyatso. He didn't have the arrow or anything like that. Maybe it's just an avatar thing, which would beg the question of Aang's, like, why am I getting these tattoos and you guys don't have them? You know?
I think there's a certain ceremony you have to go through to get your arrows, because I think in some of the flashbacks they do, and then in Korra, Tenzin has them, and there's a whole story arc on his...
One of Tenzin's children have them.
His daughter.
Yeah.
And there was a whole story arc on that, because that was part of him. He kept holding off on her getting her arrows because Daddy didn't want to admit his girl was growing up. And yeah, if you don't have kids, like, that one's a little hard to relate to, but
I get it.
I get it. You know, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so I guess there's certain ceremonies you have to go through to get those.
But the elders didn't do them, but the kids did.
Write Dante Bosco a letter and see if we can find out.
Well, Dante Bosco was just Zuko. He wouldn't know.
But he might. That, and I just wanted an excuse to throw his name in there.
I could interview someone. It was like at a panel, you know, like a Comic-Con or something. They were asking him questions, and someone asked him what he thought about Zutara. He's like, oh, I love Zutara. I love the idea of Zutara. I'm like captain of the Zutara ship, man.
Zutara?
Where they wanted Zuko and Katara to end up together.
Oh, interesting.
There are like so many memes out there of, you know, Zuko and Katara like being together, and it's like, oh man, I loved the idea, you know, fire and water coming together, you know, they're two clashing personalities. He's like, it would have been great. I'm like captain of the Zutara ship.
I could just imagine their kids. So how did you guys meet? I tried to burn down her village.
Well, he wasn't going to burn down the village. He just wanted the Avatar.
No, that's true. Okay.
He burned down Suki's village.
True. And there is that awkward when they're in the prison, the boiling rock.
And he's like, actually, we've already met. We have? Yeah, you kind of burned down my village.
Sorry.
Well, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you. Zuko was just always awkward.
Always awkward. And it doesn't get any better like when he gets older, because there are scenes in Korra where he's like still so awkward.
Yes, when he's going down this like elevator with the Northern Water Tribe's elder leaders' kids, the two twins. I forget their name.
They're so creepy.
They're creepy. Yeah,
the one that Bolin ends up like getting with.
Yeah. And they're so creepy. But he's like talking to them, and they hired an assassin to go after the Avatar because she did something that really Seska was her name. Like did something that made Seska angry, so she Korra stole Bolin. Like rescued, but also stole away Bolin. So they hired an assassin to go after Korra. It's like, you hired an assassin to go after the Avatar? I did that once.
It didn't work,
mind you. But, yeah.
I get it. Sparky Boo Man.
Like, Zuko is just always awkward, and it never gets any better for the poor guy.
He really doesn't.
He can't do small talk.
Mm-hmm. And Zuko being awkward brings me to my next one, if you don't mind me going again.
Okay, go ahead.
It's I don't know what this is from, but I've seen this used a lot. It's woman talking to another woman on the couch, and the woman on the couch just cannot be bothered with what this woman is saying. And it shows the woman talking and says, Zuko practicing his introduction to the badger frog so he can join Team Avatar. And
Zuko here.
And the woman on the couch that just can't be bothered is like the badger frog.
I told them I sent Combustion Man.
Why did I tell them Azula did it? They wouldn't believe that.
Right?
Zuko, in order to find yourself,
like, you must look within yourself. Then only the true self will be revealed.
Even when I'm talking for him, I have no idea what he's saying.
Why am I so bad at being good?
Yeah, he accidentally burned Toph's feet. Like, why am I so bad at being good?
Oh, man. Like, yeah, he goes through like 4 different ways of trying to introduce himself to the gang. Hey, guys, I'm Zuko. But you already knew that because...
I've been chasing you.
Well, look, I was doing the thing that I thought was good, but it's not good. But I'm good now.
It's just getting all kinds of bobble.
Yeah.
Well, do you have another one?
Okay, so... Oh, I've got...
No, you got
a dozen. So, switching back to Dragon Ball here. Good advice. Good advice from Vegeta. See, Vegeta's a good parent. He tries to be.
Oh, sorry.
Whoops. And this is based on the... See, this is actually the scene you were talking about.
Yeah, they're in the gravity chamber.
Okay, yeah. When he promises Trunks to, hit me one time and we'll take it to the theme park. Mm-hmm. No matter how annoying your friends are, do not kill them. Because mine still haunts. Ghost Nappa!
Ghost Nappa's behind him. Vegeta. Oh.
Jada.
No.
Jada. I'm on
to you. Go, Snappa!
Yeah!
Once again, blurring the line between the real DBZ and the abridged.
It's a very thin line.
Mm-hmm. We use like a jump rope.
Oh, man. Yeah. Team 4-Star did a great job with making Nappa hilarious.
Yeah.
Because he's an otherwise disposable, not likable character. Mm-hmm. And they made him very memorable. And literally hilarious, and we will quote everything he says.
Just like Lord Guru.
Yep. And then I've got... I found a few that, involve a lot of shipping. The blending of what they call shipping, and blending things here. It's Patrick. And that is Kid Buu? No, Teenage Buu?
That is Buu after he ejected the Kai before he absorbed anybody.
Okay. I couldn't remember what stage of Buu that was. I think I've only watched the Buu saga once.
Yeah, he rejected the Kai, so he wasn't fat anymore. And but he hadn't absorbed anybody yet, so he hadn't taken on any of their features.
Okay, so he's just pure Buu. Yeah.
Actually, Kid Buu is the purest form of Buu. I don't know, it's been a long time since
Weirdly, I think I've only seen that series once, and there's a gnat. Yeah, we are currently in... It is
it's spring
in Fresno, so we are under siege with gnats and mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
They're everywhere. and I forgot to plug in the zapper.
Oh, it's okay. It would have been going off the whole time we were recording.
Pop, 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 pop. Ooh, the other night I must have caught a big one in the one in the garage,
Oh, yeah. Made a huge pop.
and it sizzled.
Oh, yeah.
A huge snapping sound, and then after a while,
It's like, ooh, it's cooking.
burn in hell.
That was probably a fly then.
Probably a big
Anyway.
horsefly. All right, what else you got?
Well, you didn't finish explaining yours.
Oh, well, it's pretty simple. Yeah, just be careful who you call ugly in school.
It goes from Patrick to Boo.
Yeah. So what do you got here?
Well, I'm shifting gears entirely and going to Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
This is one. Let me see if I can turn it. It's easier to read. When somebody had put Hank's face on Spike and put a twist on what something Spike said and says, "I'm watching a dream I can't wake up from. I'll tell you what."
I love how they put an H in front of the what.
What?
I tell you what.
Yeah. See, you can do the Hank voice. I can't.
Yeah, I tell you what. He's got a very breathy way he speaks. It's very breathy.
Yeah, I got a few from Cowboy Bebop. But, yeah, I just thought it was funny how they put Hank's face on Spike.
Okay, so my next one, this delves a little bit into one of the reasons we love anime.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of the wide breadth of things you can do in anime. In anime, there are no rules.
No.
And even with CGI, as good as it's gotten, there's still some limitations to what you can do. But in anime, there are no rules. And you can do that. Why it is, you can go from crazy, scary, super serious Vash the Stampede to the amazing dodgeball head.
Also Vash the Stampede. Where his tongue's sticking probably about 3 feet out from his mouth, balancing a ball on it, and he's doing this weird thing. He's playing with the kids.
And nothing seems wrong with this. It just suits his character completely and perfectly. And I think if you tried to do that in any sort of live action, it wouldn't really work.
No.
But in anime, and that's one of the reasons anime is great, is because you can go through those two different scenes and it makes perfect sense.
Excuse me.
Especially with Trigun.
Yeah, Trigun, yeah, because Vash is a very silly person. His past keeps catching up with him, so.
Same with Kenshin.
Same with Kenshin, yeah.
It's like the entire thing of Kenshin is him trying to escape his past.
Mm-hmm. And it keeps coming back to haunt him. But I guess when you're the most notorious assassin Japan has ever known, that's bound to happen.
Yeah. You don't exactly get to go ride quietly into the sunset. I did find one a long time ago that had Kenshin doing a very silly face, but then it also had him in a serious Batosai.
I think I got that one.
Do you?
Let me see. Oh no, I just got the Batosai.
Yeah,
it says Batosai the Manslayer. Oh shit.
Yeah, your world just came to an end.
Because he's got his death stare, and like there's one episode where he actually got stuck in his death stare. Like he was so mad he got in his death stare and he couldn't get out of it.
Oh yeah, one of the first times he rescues Karu.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that was Janae. I think that was after his duel with Janae, the manslayer.
Is that the dude with the eyes?
Yeah, kind of looks like William Dafoe.
And the white hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, wait. Which one are you thinking of?
The one with the eyes and the white hair?
Wears glasses? Young? Thin? Young?
No.
Young guy?
No. I'm thinking of the guy that kept hypnotizing him with his eyes.
Yes, okay. Yeah, that his...
No, the young guy wearing glasses. That was
Inishi. Okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, that was Inishi, yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. And Janae kept hypnotizing people with his Shino no Weepo, I think.
But yeah, he used it to kidnap Kaoru.
and used it on her to paralyze her lungs. And, you know.
Yeah, it's like, you better kill me before she dies.
Yeah. Which he didn't. He defeated him, but didn't kill him.
Mm-hmm.
He killed himself. But yeah, after that fight, he's got stuck. It's like, it's been so long since I've had to use this glare. My face is stuck. So then Kaoru punches him, and he goes back to the swilly. It's like, there we go. That's the Kenshin we know. But yeah, it had the surly. Okay. Somebody's got to lay on a horn and wants everyone else to know it.
Okay. Whenever I hear a horn like that, especially living right next to the freeway, I was like, "Where's the crash?" Oh, no crash. I know it's bad, but
it's bad. I know, but I know exactly what you mean. It's like you hear the screeching tire, and you're waiting for it, and you're just disappointed. Anticipation, disappointment.
But anyway, moving on.
We don't want people to get hurt, but there is part of your. It's I don't know. It's the same part of your soul that says, "Ooh, dank humor."
The same reason people go to demolition derbies.
Yeah. But there's some good Kenshin memes out there, but the one I saw a long time ago, I couldn't find it for this. But yeah, it's got the silly Otto swirly eyes Kenshin, and then it's got the Battosai the Manslayer Kenshin face, and it's like, Hamura Kenshin, because bipolar disorder never looks so sexy. Not wrong. He's pretty much bipolar. Yeah. Okay, so
well, I mean, he's had a hard life.
True.
He's had a hard life.
I mean, he watched about a dozen people get slaughtered right in front of him
when he was a child.
As a child, and then he
accidentally killed the first person he ever loved.
As a teenager.
Yeah. Killed many and many hundreds of thousands of people.
It's like, yeah. Thousands, probably hundreds, if not 1,000 people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. By the time he was 25.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How old, indeed? How old is this one?
It's like, at one point he guesses that he's like 29. Kaoru asks him that scene, like, how old indeed? Like, he starts counting.
It's like, he has no idea how old he is.
It's like, okay,
lost track.
To try and put together some semblance of a timeline, the Rurouni Kenshin manga series starts in the 10th year of Meiji. So if the Meiji era started at the end of the war, I know their calendar is completely different than ours.
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese traditional calendar. Don't ask me what year that is in the Gregorian calendar. I don't know. Somebody look that up. Let me know. And mid 1800s, I think. But so the war ended, and that's what started the Meiji era.
Mm-hmm. So
they're already 10 years into that. So Kenshin says he's 29. So if that's true, then that means the war ended when he was 19.
Well, watching Samurai X, you get the sense that he was like maybe 11 or 12 when he left Shijiro Hiko to go fight.
Yeah.
When he first became an assassin, he was young.
Yeah. And that's after training with Shijiro Hiko for 7 or 8 years,
mm-hmm.
thereabouts, because he starts
like
little
when
Shinta.
Little Shinta. Too soft a name for a swordsman.
5, maybe 6, buries those 3 girls that protected him
mm-hmm.
as he was being sold. Yeah, he watched all of them get killed by robbers, and then Shijiro Hiko kills the robbers.
That is such a boss line. It's like the most boss line ever. It's
his appearance?
Shijiro Hiko comes in, kills a bunch of people. Someone turns around, it's like, who are you? He's like, you won't be alive long enough to remember my name.
And then just...
blood everywhere. He just turns around and leaves shit.
On the list of epic character introductions, that's right up there. It's like, damn.
And he was probably drunk on sake.
Probably. Because he never sober.
He never stopped drinking sake.
Nope.
But
throughout the entirety of it, he's always got a jug nearby.
But anyway, getting back on track.
Are we? Sometimes.
No, we're on a tangent.
We always do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're still somewhat online.
We're still talking about anime, but
yeah.
I got another one from Cowboy Bebop. It's
Fire away.
It's kind of in the motivational poster style. I mean, it's got the white square and it's got a picture of Spike.
Yeah.
And fans of the show will know what this means, because there's always some debate about this. And it says, Spike Spiegel. Nope, he ain't dead. Nuh-uh, not dead. Not listening to you. La 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 la.
I refuse to believe it.
Because the very last scene in Cowboy Bebop is him going, bang. And then he falls forward on the steps, but you don't see if he just passed out. Was he saved? Was he dead? Had he been killed? No, like, there's nothing after that.
You don't
It's
know
like,
how bad he was injured?
Yeah. Like, did he
Because-
die from his injuries? I don't know. Because they just left that open. So a lot of people say, he recovered. But a lot of people said, no, he got killed.
Because his death gets predicted over and over and from the first episode. Over and over and over and over. And you see him nearly die over and over and over and over.
There have been several times where you see him laying on the couch of the Bebop, completely covered head to toe in bandages.
Yes. Yeah, Faye's just sitting there peeling an orange, leaves the rinds on his head. And he can't do anything because he's sitting there just mummified in bandages.
He's like trying to talk to her, tell her to shut the hell up. Just because he can't talk.
Oh, man. That's another great show that can be so silly and yet also so heavy.
Yeah, I was trying to find more memes with Edward, because I love Edward. She's so funny. Just like the epitome of carefree,
Madness.
Yeah, but incredible hacker. She could hack anything you wanted to, but just the most childlike wonder in that girl. And
Yep. I mean, Edward's like, what, 12?
12, 13, something like that.
Yeah.
Very young. And there's one episode, like, you just want to, like, grab her and hug her. It's towards the end. She's helping Faye recover her memories. So she takes her to Earth because Faye was given this tape of herself as a child, and she's trying to watch it and remember, because she'd lost her memories.
Yeah.
And Edward's like, well, I could take you there. I know where that is. But, they stop at this orphanage where Edward used to live, and gives her a picture of her father. And so she puts out a bounty on her father so that Spike would find him.
Spike person? This is father person.
Yeah. He decks him. It's like, no, Spike is Edward's friend. He's like, oh, okay. But her father is very...
A complete yutz.
Well, he's very direct-minded. Like, he's got a mission in his head that he has to do this thing that's an impossible task, and nothing else matters except for, his work. It's like he couldn't even remember if Edward was a boy or a girl. So.
No, and the fact that Edward is so flat-chested and runs around in little bicycle shorts kind of adds to that ambiguity.
But she has said before that Edward's a little girl. So, but anyway, so...
Who names their daughter Edward?
Well, they didn't. Her name was actually like Francoise or something like that. He calls her Francoise, but Edward calls herself Edward. So, but so she finds her dad, and he's like, "Oh, well, thank you for taking care of my son or daughter. I can't remember." But then something happens that's like relevant to his work, and he just drops her and bolts, and she's just got this look on her face, and it was just so heartbreaking.
Yeah, he's like tracking meteor impacts.
Yeah,
or
meteor
something
impacts on Earth.
Yeah, and then his tracking equipment goes off, and you see a meteor fall in the distance, and off he goes. And Edward is like off to go find him.
No, Edward's like just
heartbroken,
and she ends up going back with Spike. But shortly after that, she leaves. She just kind of is like, okay, well, I'm gonna go continue my journey, and Nine goes with her.
Yeah, because that was the purpose of her time on the Bebop, was to try and find her father.
Well, they never really say that. Her purpose on the Bebop was just kind of something to do.
It's kind of a whim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were, they tolerated her because of her hacking abilities.
Well, I think Jet liked her.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jet secretly is a softie.
Yeah, well,
Spike
it was it was Jet's idea to keep eyeing too.
Yeah. Like 3 things I don't like, Jet. Dogs, women, kids.
No, dogs, kids, women with attitudes.
Women with attitudes.
So tell me, Jet, why do we have all 3 conveniently located on our ship? He's like,
Like when Faye starts saying it out there, she's like, so she's here now?
I have no opinion.
I'm saying nothing and have no opinion.
It's like, well, I'll go tell her. Then you hear gunshots. He's like, bad move, Spyko. Yeah, Faye's got a complicated backstory too, but
well, they all do.
They all do. Yeah,
that's what makes them such alluring characters.
Yeah, Spike had the syndicate. Faye had her accident with her freezing. Jet used to be a cop.
Yeah, but one of him and his partner were tracking down a syndicate, and like, I forget what exactly. I'm not gonna spoil it. Somebody go watch it.
Go watch it. It's a great series. It's pretty short, so you can watch it within if you binge it like maybe in a few days. But
yeah. Although don't binge, it's bad for you.
It's bad for you. Get up, go move around, take a walk.
Watch anime moderately. Watch anything.
Watch anime responsibly.
Irresponsibly. Watch anything moderately and responsibly, because actually watching an episode one by one, like, I don't know, one a day, one every other day, gives your mind time to work out the details and ask questions and then find the subtext of, hey, wait a minute. Why was Toph so proud of her sandbending on Ember Island?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. You start, you could do things like that. It gives the mind to work out the details.
Mm-hmm.
Don't overload yourself with stuff. Okay, yeah, open our phones back up and move along here. So, not to be too much of a cheap shot, but I found this one from Full Metal Alchemist here.
Another stab at Twilight.
It's so easy. It's so easy, but I don't feel bad about it at all. Because Alphonse is
Full Metal Alchemist, Alphonse, yeah.
Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist, another great epic series that I love and adore that series. But Alphonse has literally...
He's a suit of armor.
He's an animated suit of armor. His brother... They tried to revive their mom who had died, and in the process, Alphonse's body was taken, and...
Edward put his soul into the suit of armor.
Because that's all he could get for the cost. To try and get back their mom, Alphonse lost his body and Ed lost a leg. So Ed brought him back. He's like, well, how much can I get for one arm? Or at least give me back his soul. And that cost him an arm. So he put it into that suit of armor. Which becomes is a huge plot point. And...
It's a freaking awesome suit of armor, though. It's spikes. It's menacing looking,
Yeah. And it becomes a plot point over and over again that he is this suit of armor. And Al actually becomes an incredibly wise for his years person.
But he also has times where he just totally shows his age and goes running off crying. It's like, brother, you're so mean.
Or starts hiding cats inside of him because he's
just hear, meow.
Coming from inside him, yeah. Cats.
But anyway, your meme, it says...
Okay, can't move his face. Still has more facial expressions than Kristen Stewart. Who you had to remind me, that's the gal who just like... Through the entirety of Twilight looks like... Do I like that sparkly guy? Or do I like that sparkly guy? That sparkly guy.
There was a time around the there's a trend.
Sparkle.
There's a trend around the time that Twilight came out, and I saw it across several different shows and movies and stuff like that. Where with women, especially, it's like their idea of acting was just to never close your mouth. Just yeah, and
just want to walk up and just
yeah. Because I've seen several actresses around that time doing the exact same thing. It's just like, close your damn mouth. You look like a slack-jawed yokel.
somewhere between a fish and a slack-jawed yokel. Yeah.
But
All right, fire away.
I got another one here for Avatar.
Okay.
And it says, Aang, violence is never the answer. Appa gets stolen. And shows a picture and it's like Aang. It's a monk. It's a monk in like a sporting goods store holding a gun.
No more passive resistance anymore, man.
It's like Gandhi too. No more passive aggressive.
Is that a shotgun?
It looks like a flintlock almost, but I mean it's a sporting goods store, so they wouldn't have anything that old. It probably a shotgun.
Cap and that is definitely
But yeah, it's like this Tibetan monk in his robes and everything. He's holding a gun.
That looks like a single fire shotgun, probably 12 gauge.
I thought that was funny because Aang preaches.
If somebody knows what make and model that is, let me know in the comments.
But Aang's always preaching. All life is sacred. He doesn't even want to kill Osai.
He's a vegetarian.
Yeah, but Appa gets stolen.
Nope.
The only time you see Aang kill anything is when he killed that wasp that had stolen Momo.
Deliberately kill. We can assume there was some deaths when at the Northern Water Tribe when Spirit Aang decimated the fire fleet.
Yeah.
There was probably some deaths on that, but like he straight murdered that wasp.
Yeah, because he had already gotten Momo back. That was just revenge.
Yeah.
So, but that was right after Appa was taken, and when he found they found them, the Sandbenders that stole Appa, and he went nuts.
Yeah, they leave a few things to the imagination at the end of that episode.
Well, like, he goes into the Avatar state, he starts freaking out, and Sokka's just like, everyone leave, everyone get out of here, so they all run. And Katara ends up bringing them back. But
that's a heavily emotional arc right there. Mm-hmm. It really, like, damn. And but we've covered that before.
Yeah.
We never did finish our Avatar series. Maybe we'll come back around to that.
Yeah.
One more thing that we've never finished, but it's okay.
So
I've got another one from Full Metal.
Okay.
And following up with the Trigun meme right there as well, along the same lines.
He's got a little panda.
That panda will mess you up too. It's deadly.
Yeah.
Because it bites everyone it meets.
Well, yeah, it's biting Nell's finger right there. It's a good thing he can't feel it.
I think his name was Zhao Mei. And it's actually a full-grown panda, but he's kind of a pygmy or a runt. And
he's small.
So he's really small. And that's another character's this little Chinese girl. And, well, they never say Chinese, but she's from the East.
Mm-hmm.
And that's her sidekick, her animal that she brings with her, who is totally adorable, but also tries to bite people and will bite and claw and scratch you and mess you up. But, Alphonse is either drawn like that or like that. There's no in between.
Yeah.
And,
pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. Because he's either about to seriously fight somebody or he's just, fuzzy animal.
Yeah. Or you just hear, meow.
Meow.
Al, do you have another cat? Brother, you're so mean. You never like my cats. He runs away screaming.
There are dozens of memes out there with Alfonso and his cats. It's like, the armor falls apart and it's just cats everywhere. He was always cats all this time. It all makes sense now. All right, what you got?
I got another one from Dragon Ball Z. This one's a little bit suggestive.
Oh my.
It's actually from Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z. It's got Chi-Chi, after she fought him in the tournament, when they're older.
Oh, okay, teenager.
Yeah. And she's like, "You promised to marry me." And goes to Goku. He's like, I thought a bride was something to eat. And she goes, "It is."
Oh my.
So yeah, a little bit suggestive on that one. But yeah. But when she said, will you promise to marry me? He did think that was a sort of food. And they do poke fun at that in Team 4 Star as well.
Yeah. Trunks tries to explain. It's like, I can't believe Mom married you. Okay.
Assuming a lot of things.
Food? What the hell is marriage? Is that some sort of food? Okay, when two people love each other. Oh my God, I'm messing with you, Trunks. What kind of idiot doesn't know what marriage is?
And saying two people loving each other, making a lot of assumptions.
No, I think they said that about it. It's like, how are these people your friends? Making a lot of assumptions.
No, it was the other one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or I think Tien, it was both, because he said a lot of assumptions about the, loving each other, but Tien said, when he's like, how are these people your friends? Like, you're making a lot of assumptions. Shut up, One Eye.
Make me.
Why do you do that? He could kill you, right?
I know. He knows that.
If he kills me, I win. And he knows that. At this point, it's the game.
I like the Team 4 Star Tien. He's much more likable than actual Tien.
Mm-hmm. Actual Tien's just so boring.
I know, and the way Team 4 Star reframes that, it's like, I am the only serious character in this anime, and that's the joke. And he's right. Yeah,
it's funny because in the movie Resurrection F, where they bring back Frieza, came out probably about 6 or 7 years, or probably about 10 years ago now. Time flies when you're as you get older, time flies. But
it tends to
get
dilate.
away from you. But anyway, because Frieza shows up on Earth, everyone's kind of getting together to fight him, and Tien shows up and it's like, I didn't bring Yamcha or Krillin, they're not strong enough to fight this guy. And I'm thinking, but you are, Tien? I don't really think so.
Not really, no.
Oh no, Krillin was there. He's like, I didn't bring Yamcha. Yamcha or Chaozu. Yeah.
Chaozu, yeah.
Yamcha or Chaozu.
Yeah, they
and then they're like, and then Gohan's like, yeah, they made me promise not to tell Gohan and Trunks or Goten and Trunks. They'd
want to challenge him.
Challenge him directly.
Those two are definitely their father's children.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But anyway, you got what you got?
Okay, a little more shipping here. A combination of Full Metal and Legend of Korra.
She does look. Yeah, Azumi does look like that lady from Full Metal.
Lust,
yes, yeah. Thank you.
Azumi's mom. The insinuation there is that Azumi's mom was Lust, and Roy Mustang literally ripped her heart out because her heart was a Philosopher's Stone, and then he crushed it, thus killing her. Because Lust was a homunculi, an artificial human made from a Philosopher's Stone.
See that, and that makes perfect sense because her father said her mother was killed by a firebender.
Yeah.
And Mustang commands fire.
Yeah.
So makes perfect sense.
Yeah. It's like, if you know what the subject matter is, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a brutal fight scene too.
Sorry, it's coming through on my headphones.
Oh, it was? Oh, I'm sorry. That was a brutal fight scene. Like, Roy Mustang, almost dies right there. And I was like, it's been a long time since I've watched
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. I don't know if they ever finished a full series, but just the movie Brotherhood only gets a third of the way through the manga, and we need closure on that one. we need more we need the animated finish, because there's a lot of scenes in there I want to see them expand on.
There's a lot of animes that the cartoon came out before the story ended in the mangas.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to just make something up.
And
it didn't always work. So that's why a lot of animes are going back and retelling the story now that the whole story had finished. They did the same thing with Hellsing. They did the same thing with Fruits Basket and Kenshin.
I think Trigun. Yeah, Trigun.
Yeah, they got the new Vash the Stampede.
I haven't watched the new Vash the Stampede. I watched some of it, and then I kind of got distracted by
Ooh, shiny.
Shiny thing, yeah. And so I need to get back around and finish watching that. But that Fruits Basket kind of stands alone, because that's one of the few reboots that worked.
Yeah, and speaking of which, my next meme is a Fruits Basket meme.
Yay!
So, segue! Actually, no, take away the applause, because this is actually a really heavy, sad one.
God. Brace for impact.
You can't depress an entire fandom with just one screenshot. Yeah. That's
yep. We needed that. Thank you, Beth.
Pop. But
you know.
If you know, you know. Yeah.
Kan and Kyoko.
It's like touched on very briefly towards the end of the series or the manga that they actually knew each other.
Yeah. All right. So shipping abounds.
I love Anderson.
Armstrong, yeah.
Colossal Louis Anderson. Witness the
wall-destroying technique that has been passed down the Armstrong line for generations. Because like every move he uses is something that's been passed down
for generations.
Yeah.
And he's a...
He is...
What do they call those things?
Okay, and this is a combination of Fullmetal Alchemist and Attack on Titan.
So he's Titan.
He's the colossal Titan that destroys the outer wall at the very start of the series. When that comes back around when you've got Ed, who's supposed to be, who's taking the place of okay, I literally just can't.
Aaron?
Yeah, Aaron, the main character from Attack on Titan, when it's like the Colossal Titan comes back and now they're cadets and they've got their swords, like, how about a slice of vengeance? So it's like, yeah, you know, just the scene.
But it's the full Armstrong flexing with the sparkles. And every time he flexes, there's sparkles and he's got the eyelashes. I love it when his sister came in. She looks just like... Except she's got long hair and she's wearing a dress.
Yep. And she's got a lot of it, you know, she's much more serious than he does. He's actually got the big soft heart. She's much more serious, which is one of the reasons she succeeded further in the military than he did. But actually, in one of the... Okay, you know, on the way back, there's always like the side little skits they do. You know, it's just little goofy stuff that authors do sometimes.
Yeah.
There's one where one of the characters in Alchemist, Havoc, starts dating, or he's having a slump because he's not dating somebody right now, and so Armstrong tries to hook him up with one of his younger sisters. So he's going through all these scenarios. He's like picturing Armstrong in a dress, like, but I can't tell the colonel no. Or, I can't tell him no. He's already gone through the trouble of setting this up. So he gets there, and this is this really pretty young girl, and she's like, I thought you said she looked just like you. Yeah. Don't you see the resemblance? Our lower eyelashes are exactly alike.
Something very, very tiny and superficial.
But it made sense to him.
Lower eyelashes, not upper eyelashes, lower eyelashes. See, and for an anime to do good, you have to have some levity in it, because just seriousness all through, it's just too much.
Yeah.
So all the really great animes have those little breaks that make you laugh.
Yeah. Well, this was in like, the way the
mangas.
this is in the manga, but it's like outside of the main story. It's at the very end where they just made a few. There would always be like 4 or 5 little. They were the size of the comic strip you'd see in the newspaper, things like that, and they were just these little side trips. And I forgot what they called it.
But they still have humor in the show.
Oh yeah. They would have a lot of heart feels, and they would have a lot of humor.
A lot of darkness.
And a lot of darkness.
Oh. Like that one you found where somebody put a wig on their dog. It's like, no!
Oh!
No! Too far.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like,
not okay, man.
It's
the
like
fact that somebody actually cosplayed as Shao Tucker and took their dog, put a wig on their dog, dressed as Shao Tucker, and went to a Comic-Con.
It's like a little circle. This is okay. This is you.
Here's the things that are okay. This post.
It's wrong.
Way over there.
So wrong.
It's like the guy who actually made a phone booth, went to Comic-Con, dressed as Mayhew's, made a little cardboard phone booth so he could lay down and be dead inside of it. It's like, okay, I applaud the effort, but it's fucked up, man. It's messed up.
I loved Hughes. He was so funny, and he just loved his daughter so much.
And he was always getting on Mustang's nerves, which
I know.
is great because Mustang was too serious for his own good.
He really was. But anyway, moving on. I'm coming back around to Avatar.
Okay.
It's 2 panels. Top, we got Sokka with his boomerang.
Okay.
And at the bottom, we got
Boomerang
when he was Mr. Sophopopolopoulos or whatever.
Some Greek-sounding name that's like that long.
That he told the guard at Omashu, wearing Appa's hair as a mustache and a wig.
Yeah, the guard's like, state your business for reason for visiting Omashu.
So, yeah, you want whippersnapper? My business is my business. I've got a notion to turn you over my knee and teach you some respect for the elderly.
Like, oh, man, calm down, sir. It's just, this is my job to ask people their reason for visiting.
And then Katara comes up. I'm June Snufflepopala, whatever it is.
Yeah, you pointed out, it's like she didn't miss a beat.
Yeah,
just,
she said it exactly right. And she's like, you seem like a responsible young lady. Make sure your grandpa stays out of trouble.
That guard was just like, I did not get paid enough for this. This is not my job. And so okay, this is a little more world building. Coming back also along the lines of Avatar. Can you tell we like Avatar?
Just a little bit.
It's like one of the few times you see Tenzin break loose and really let loose was at a pro bending match in Legend of Korra. It's like, yep, he is definitely Sokka's nephew.
Yeah. The boulder.
Yeah. So they were supposed to be standing guard. Some terrorist
But he's like getting into it.
Getting really distracted watching the pro bending matches.
Isn't that the one like Korra was in?
Yeah, that's Legend of Korra.
Yeah, but her
Mako and
Bolin.
Maybe either that or I don't know. But yeah, they were competing in that, and they were expecting some terrorist.
I think it was Amand or whatever, one of his group.
Yeah, they were expecting Amand to make his move during the match, and yeah, they were supposed to be standing guard. But Tenzin kept getting distracted. Oh man,
it's funny because Tenzin is such a straight-laced character.
Yeah.
So when that mask slips, it's so funny.
I mean, it really does, and this is what I love about this is what I meant by the Avatar fandom is intense, and they really put strings together. It's like, I don't know if the directors and the people who made the scripts were thinking about this, but there it is.
Well, you used to watch a channel called Overanalyzing Avatar, and that's like people putting way too much thought into
that
this.
guy did, yeah. He made a lot of salient and Overanalyzing Avatar. It's a channel on YouTube, and I would use his episodes a lot when making slides a lot because he did a lot of deep stuff. But I would get sucked into watching his videos because he would make a lot of interesting points, and he would also point out like things like gear continuity, the stuff they're carrying around with them.
Yeah, or the fact that every time it was nighttime, it was a full moon.
Like, what the stuff, Avatar? You cannot have a full moon this often. And, you would point out things like that. And a lot of the, connecting of dots. And when I love when Aang goes to the spirit world, like, points out, it's like, what he pointed out about the gods and their rules. It's like, why does Ko steal faces? Why does Wan Shi Tong, don't break anything in his library? Ko will steal your face if you show emotion. Follow the rules or get punished. Why are the rules the way they are? Screw you. That's why. Like, the gods just have their own little way of doing things, and if you don't follow their way, you will be punished harshly and immediately. And why do they do it that way? Because they can.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Yeah.
I'm a god. Deal with it.
Yeah. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Ko will steal your face if you show emotion. Why? Because.
He can.
Because he can. Yeah.
Mm.
Wait a minute. Is that the end of my list? That is the end of my list. Wow.
Well, I still got a few more.
Okay, what do you got?
Swooping back around to Dragon Ball Z. Let's see if I can make it look better. The names. Raccoon. It rhymes with doom. Says haters gonna hate. It looks fabulous. If you're in the Ginyu squad, you are fabulous.
Right. Form and poise above all else.
It's like he's been burned and maimed badly, but he's still got his style. He's got his poses. Let's see. Find another Dragon Ball Z one. There's one that's like, yeah, it makes perfect sense, but of course they never do it. It's like a board meeting.
Oh, okay. The business presentation?
It's like, all right, we need to defeat this villain. Any ideas? Spirit bomb, transform, and then Yamcha goes, attack before they power up. And they just look at him.
No.
You see him beam coming out the window. It's like, no, we never attack them before they power up.
You always wait till they reach 100% and then fight them.
Because it'll totally demoralize them.
Because
Goku is the way he is.
And that was something Team 4-Star pointed out as he started to explain that, during the Namek saga, Goku just waits for Frieza to power all the way up, and King Kai is like screaming into his head like,
Don't do it!
But King Kai, if I wait for him to power up to 100% and then defeat him, it'll demoralize him.
But in Goku, I cannot believe we're having this conversation.
I know, me neither. By demoralize, he means demoralize.
But
Goku's
a dumbass.
A dumbass, and Team 4-Star always makes jokes of that.
And another joke from Team 4-Star, and Cell fighting Piccolo is like, I have a message for you from Gohan. Dodge! And sends Piccolo flying. Dodge! Wow, he really needs to learn how to dodge.
Yeah, we're working on that. I'm starting to get a sore throat from all the gruff voices.
This is one's like, if you get the joke, we can be friends. So yeah.
That gets funnier every time I see it.
Let's see. I think that's all my Dragon Ball Z ones. I got 2 more. Here's another Avatar one.
Kazuzu.
Teacher, what's so funny? Me? Nothing. Please continue. My brain. Kazuzu. Because you do. You get bored, you think about silly stuff like that, and you start to chuckle to yourself.
That's what keeps me from killing my coworkers. Man.
Let me make sure those are my last ones. I got one more left. I think. Yeah. So this is my last one.
Okay.
It's from Helsing. Insanity. It's much more fun when you have firearms. Get that bitch a cannon. Bitches love cannons.
Yeah, a real vampire.
Oh, I don't know. A real vampire. Yeah.
It's like, that's one that comes to mind when, it's like, vampires don't sparkle, Twilight. Vampires don't sparkle. Hellsing Ultimate. That's more vampire. That's, right up there. That, and for me, it's like that and the Anne Rice novels, the Vampire Chronicles. That's what comes to my mind when I think modern day vampire stuff. Like, yeah, because they can kill you. They will kill you because they can.
Well, especially when Alucard goes all count and like really shows the vastness of his power.
Oh yeah,
when they're fighting the Nazis, and it's just like, damn.
And after a while, he stopped killing people himself and started hanging around battlefields. He calls it his life hack. Of course he did.
Oh,
Team 4-Star did a great abridged series on that too.
It was so funny. The attitude they gave Alucard is hilarious.
And what I love about that is the attitude they gave him still fits the character. That's something that's great about their abridges, their parodies, is that if you can watch and why they blend, so it's hard to keep it straight between the canon and their abridges, because the characters are still true to themselves. And that's what makes the line so blurry.
It's just in the Team 4-Star, he's much more sassy.
Much more sassy.
Especially with Integra.
A lot more profanity.
Yeah.
So don't watch that one with kids nearby.
No. But, yeah, so many great lines.
Yeah. If you watch that with your kids nearby and your kids start using very interesting words, don't blame me. I warned you.
What reeks of hypocrisy in here? Oh, look, the Catholic Church.
Yeah, if you're offended easily, you won't like it.
Yeah, no. But it's so funny.
But if you like the dank, if you like the dark,
the dank,
you're going to love it.
And say, if you look deep within your heart, which is now all over that tree, I'm sure you'll find the nerve to forgive me.
So that's your field report. Yep. You went for a walk in the forest.
A very enthusiastic walk.
Murdered a homicidal priest, dead.
Vampire priest.
Yep, dead. And killed a police girl with the big titties.
Yeah, with the big titties. Because they did, for no reason whatsoever. They just gave Saros huge boobs.
Actually, that's canon.
Yeah, but like, even with the original one.
Yeah. Why?
No reason.
Because
men.
Yasuhiro not Night Out. Is it Night Out?
I don't know.
Future me, correct that whoever wrote it, it's like, I guess he's a bit of a perv.
Men like girls with big titties, I don't know.
It's anime,
Yeah. But anyway.
It's kind of a standard.
So that's all our anime memes for today.
I mean, although, in their defense, they gave Saros big boobs, but it's not a plot point. They're just there.
That's true. They never really get in the way, and they're covered most of the time. It's not like she's always got her cleavage hanging out. She's wearing the uniform.
Unlike Bulma. Bulma, who spends like 5 episodes walking around in her underwear when they were on their way to Namek.
Yeah.
Poor Krillin.
In front of Krillin and a child.
Yeah, Gohan's like 6.
Yeah.
Bulma, come on!
What the shit, Bulma?
What the shit?
There's something I was going to say, but I can't remember what it was.
Team 4, their 4 stars are bridged like Krillin's log.
No.
Oh. I'd relieve this, but the toilet keeps yelling at me!
Oh God, it's everywhere!
Yeah, in the cave.
Anyway.
Alright, well, it's getting late.
We've gone through all our memes.
Yay!
So we are going to call it there.
Yes. So we will probably do another one of these at some point. Probably
if we can't think of anything else to talk about.
Yeah, we are literally doing this Wednesday, and I'm supposed to post this episode this weekend.
It's Tuesday.
Okay, in my defense, I was fairly certain today was Tuesday this morning. Until I got to work. And then a few things happened.
Well, in my defense, I thought today was Monday because Lily was off yesterday and she went back to school today.
See, at least you're running early. But for me, time dilated pretty hard. Because almost at the same time, the Snap-on vendor arrived.
Oh, and he always comes on Wednesday.
Friday.
Oh.
Wednesday is Mac and Macco.
Oh, okay.
So our Snap-on vendor who arrived today at like 9. And yeah, he's supposed to be there on Fridays. It's like, why was he? It's like, what? And then not 30 minutes after he got there, the uniform guy shows up. Our laundry.
He was supposed to come tomorrow or Thursday.
Thursdays. So I left here thinking, it's Tuesday morning. Sure, I could put the trash cans out when I get home tonight because Wednesday's trash pickup. Right. I get to work, and then the guy who's supposed to be there on Friday gets there, and then the guy... Seriously, what is today?
So you didn't get any of your uniforms taken this week?
I think he was either confused and got his orders mixed up, or he was there to do like some sort of special pickup. I don't know.
Hopefully he comes back on Thursday.
Today is not Thursday.
No, today is Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday. Right.
But Thursday is the day he usually comes, and I want him to pick up your laundry. Because I don't want to do it.
No, and it's probably pretty bad for our washer and dryer.
Yeah.
All the chemicals. Gross.
Anyway.
Well,
thank you for watching, listening, joining, whatevs.
Leave a comment. Leave a like. Subscribe. Tell a couple friends. And leave a link in the comments, I guess, or try and DM me on X if you've got some memes that you think would be a great anime meme review.
Maybe we'll do other kinds of memes later on. Change it up a little bit.
Ooh, okay. Classic artwork.
Oh, those ones are funny. We could do that someday.
Classic artwork and opera.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's a lot of them out there, but yeah, classic artwork memes. Please send it. Mm-hmm. Send it.
Those are funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good night.
Good night. We will see you next time. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate you being here. Jazz hands.